Alright, folks, here we are again, tidbits from the Word. We're in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and we're talking about love. And we already covered 4 or 5 things about love in this book. We covered in verse 4, love is patient. The second thing we covered, that love is courteous, kindness. Love is kindness. And then the third thing we covered, that generosity. Love is generous. It's given freely, and Jesus gave it to us freely, and we are to pass it on freely. And now we come to another thing here in verse 4, and that's humility. Humility. Love is not puffed up. It don't vaunt itself. It's not puffed up. It's humility. You have to be humble to love. You have to be humble to love. You got to be willing to act on that love. You got to be willing to humble yourself for the Lord's sake. And love is not. Love doesn't hide. You can't hide love. Love is not hiding. Love, you can't hide love. You got to come out with a love. It's like my neighbor over here yesterday. He said to me, I'd like to have one of them well houses you got right there. Well, I love that guy. I'm trying to win him to the Lord and have been for a long time. That little old well house been sitting there a long time, and the Lord hasn't let me sell it. I built that thing to sell. I wanted $130 for that thing. I'd like to have $130 for it. But the guy said yesterday to me, I'd like to have that. Well, he doesn't have $130. He doesn't have anything. And the Lord said, well, give it to him. Just say it's yours. So I told him, it's yours. You're welcome to it. And it was simple. It's been paid for because it didn't sell. It was built. It's sitting out there. What good is it to me? Yes, it's an ornament to me too, but he liked it. Well, I'd rather have him have it than me have it because he liked it. So we got to love. You can't hide love. You either got it or you ain't. So if you got it, it'll show up. And by the way, some things, if you keep them, can become an albatross around your neck. And so you're better off maybe to get rid of something. So anyway, no pride. No pride. Love doesn't never retire. Love doesn't retire. Love is something that it works until the day you die. There's no retirement in love. Love is an action. It is a work word, and it's an action word. And love takes action, and you can love without speaking, but it does take action to show your love. It takes sacrifice of many things. You'll sacrifice many things in your life if you love, if you really love, and you will not be insulting, it says here, and you'll love in action. You'll never act rashly. You won't act passive. You won't hurry. You won't dash people's hope. If somebody's hoping, well, I'm going to learn how to do this job, and I'm hoping I'm going to learn how to do it well. But while I'm learning how to do it, I'm going to make some mistakes, and I hope people will bear with me while I'm making these mistakes. Are you helping that person along, or are you killing them when they make a mistake? Are you killing them when they make a mistake? What kind of person are you? What kind of lover are you? How do you love? Do you love patiently? Do you suffer long? Do you love with kindness? Do you love graciously? Do you love unselfishly? Unselfishness. Do you love unselfishly? Could you go in and buy, you only want one Egg McMuffin, and that two for $2. Well, that's an extra $1. and two for $2 or one for $1. It makes them the same. But you only want one, but can you buy two and hand one to somebody else? Say, hey, I really only wanted one of these and I bought two of them, but I'd like you to have one. Can you do that? Are you unselfish? Love, in essence, this is a big word, essence. It's like the fragrance. Did you stop this morning and roll deodorant up underneath your arms? And the essence from that deodorant covers up the stink? Well, to cover up the stink you have as a human being, you have to have love. And love covers up the fact you're a stinking human being. We're all stinking human beings. And we've got to have love to prove that we're not. And it's not selfish. Love is not sour. Love is not bitter. Love is not selfish or bitter. It doesn't act unseemly. It doesn't behave unseemly. Love is polite. To be polite is a loving thing. Just be polite. Can you just be polite? Do you have to be stinking? Do you have to be stinking to go through this world? Do you have to be stinking to be a policeman? No. Do you know something? You could be a policeman that people would throw up their hand and wave at you when they go by, if you cared to be. If you're a policeman and you're a rude policeman, you need to take some love lessons. You need to learn how to, a young man down at the church the other day, and police stopped him. And I said, well, did you ask him to please give you a warning? He said, I begged him to give me a warning, but he gave me a ticket. Do you know that policeman set a bad precedent in that boy's mind? Here's a young man, he's 16, he just got his license. He's making some mistakes. And I know the policeman wants to help him, but he'd help him a lot more by coaxing him along with some love and saying, hey son, you really deserve a ticket right here. But I'm going to give you this warning, and I'm going to tell you, next time now, I'm going to give you a ticket. And you take this warning and you be careful. And don't rattle your pipes anymore. Or don't do what it is that I stopped you for. But I'm not going to give you a moving violation at 16 years old yet. Until you learn now. Because I'm watching the 16-year-olds try to keep you from killing yourself and somebody else. But a warning would have been much nicer. And that boy, next time he saw that policeman, he'd be behaving more than likely, and he'd throw his hand up to him instead of trying not to make eye contact or trying not to see him or saying, there's that wicked policeman that hasn't got any love or any grace or any mercy or anything. So listen, love, no matter what job you're in, you got to love your employees. You got to love the people you deal with. You got to love the sinner. You got to love the person that's in trouble. You even got to love a man that steals. You say, love a man that steals? Yeah. My goodness, lately. Boy, we have had, it seems like everything that we put on our truck lately, everything we get out in the open lately is gone, poof, stole. And you got to love the man that stole it, in spite of the fact he stole it. Some people steal because they need something to eat. Some people steal because they need some dope. Some people steal just because they've made a practice of stealing. And but you got to help them out of that where they are. But you can't help them out of it by not loving them. I loved a man, he stole from me, and I loved him, and I put him in jail. And he said, oh, you love me? But I said, I do, I love you, I'm going to put you in jail and tell you, don't steal from me anymore. And I didn't put him in jail out of hate. I put him in jail out of love.